falling. You see, we don't say rising into love. There is in it the idea of the fall.
Cobra.
तू दूर जाना ये बता कि तू है अकेला क्यों ना लगे जैसे तूने दर्द से ना खेला क्या मैं कहूँ क्या तू सुने जाने दे अब ये क्यों तू चुने हर सांस में आवाज में तेरे ये अश्क है क्यों बुने तू दूर जाना ये बता कि तू है अकेला क्यों ना लगे जैसे तूने दर्द से ना खेला तू मेरे सीने में था हर एक महीने में था तुझसे जुड़ा किया क्या मैंने था दे दी कि तूने वजह मेरी तो ये थी खुशी की देखी तेरी हंसी लेकिन सुना ना कुछ तो होते हैं वो जिनको है सब कुछ मिला तू इस तरह जुदा हुआ खफा हुआ ये रास्ता हुई हंसी ये लापता ना काम का मैं खास था नींद से मैं जब उठा पता चला मैं रो रहा ये क्या हुआ है ना पता ये क्या हुआ है ना पता तू दूर जाना ये बता कि तू है अकेला क्यों ना लगे जैसे तूने दर्द से ना खेला
But this is the most powerful thing that can be done. Surrender. See, and love is an act of surrender to another person. Total abandonment. I give myself. Do anything you like. See?
Cobra.
तेरी मेरी ये कहानी है मुश्किल मिलते थे पर अब नहीं है दो दिल ओ जाने लेके ये कहाँ जाए मंजिल आंखें तेरी थी वो सांप मेरा दिल तुझसे हर लम्हा जुड़ा दिल के उस पन्ने पे था जिस पे लिखा दे दिया था 2 दफा खुद से भी ऊपर तुझको मैंने रखा क्यों मेरे चले जाने से ये प्यार उठा रेत का था ये बना मेरी जुबां का किला था ये गिरा रोया क्यों था बेवजह मेरी थी रजा और तेरी थी क्यों वो सजा क्यों जागा था मैं सारी रात तेरी मेरी ये कहानी है मुश्किल मिलते थे पर अब नहीं है दो दिल ना जानू कहाँ गलत क्या थी मेरी सजा क्या थी मेरी सजा
Hello, 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 hello everyone. How's it going? I hope the music is not too loud. Quickly wanna check the music is not too loud. Yeah. Cool, cool. How is everybody doing? Hello, hello, hello. We are back live on Saturday. I wanted to actually. I was recording for some things and I wanted to then go back to streaming, and I was thinking of what to do for a little bit of chill moments, and I thought, okay, maybe we actually work on the website C code, which is basically lead code using C. Yeah. So the question is, what are we doing? What are we doing? Right. I hope the music is not too loud. I hope the music is not too loud. And what we're going to do is, um, not sure. Anyways, cool. If you see, I have a little bit of different setup today. And yeah, so let's actually get started, right? So actually, let's get started, I suppose. Right. Okay. So today I actually tested out Fable 5 and I redesigned C code a little bit. So if you see here, the website is a little bit redesigned now. One of the most important things I feel is like the contrast and the color was not great, so I redesigned that, and so I feel now the color is a little bit okay. I still feel the website is a little bit slow. Of course, the HTML and stuff is kind of like done with your. I don't remember which model I used, but I used Claude to actually get the first design out. Now I just did this. So, but I think it did a pretty fair job. But I would like the website to be a little bit slow, a little bit faster, to be honest. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think in general it works out pretty good, and not much issue there. Sorry. That's that. And yeah, cool. So, I think, I think, yeah. So even the logo is changed, but I now like the blue color instead of that blinding green stuff that we had going. And yeah, so I'm playing a nice playlist by Pragya Nadiwal. But yeah, so it's apparently yeah. So I think the design of this website is pretty good. Fable did a pretty good job to actually redesign this. I have to make some more changes, but I didn't actually push it enough. I have to make some changes to the table pagination. Right now there is no pagination and stuff like that. But yeah, please give it a check. It's already in the pinned comments. Just let me know how you feel the design is. Because definitely I feel it's better than the previous one. So I was thinking of what should I do now. I was recording a video, like I said. So I said, okay, let me go live and let me just try and do some lead code stuff. Right? And hopefully farm some views. Let's see. So let's get our development environment set up right away. We can do this. So we go to problems. And I think we were doing the blind 75. Should we do the blind 75 or should we do any other problem set? Maybe we can do a study plan. Why not? Do I have any ongoing study plans? I don't have any ongoing study plans. But maybe we can do lead code 75. It's probably like blind 75, but we can do that. So yeah. Let's see how it is. Hmm. Okay. Cool. So we have actually got a bunch of to-dos in here, which probably is something that we should start with. Uh, right. So to-do is 26. That's what I'm probably gonna start with. Mm, okay. So why this is still in here? So let's actually see. Actually, wait, why it didn't copy? Hmm. Okay, so did I actually copy? Did I do it and see? Hmm. Let's see. Okay, I did that in C, but why did I not? Okay, I have no idea why I don't have uh this thing. So let's go to notes. I don't have the notes. Okay. Okay. So we don't have the notes in here. Mm. So let's actually go into this kind of a view and problems. Let me change the model to the low stuff. Okay. Write me the nodes.md file for the problem 26. Okay. Also, I kind of forgot what was the question. The question was remove duplicates from sorted array. Okay, so you have this and you have this thing in here. Yeah. Okay. So till the time you actually move through, what do we do in here? You say assert nums not equals null. This thing. Okay. So last unique number is definitely this. Makes sense. Two-pointer technique. Current pointer iterating through the array. Insert that pointer tracks where to place the next unique element. Last unique element tracks the unique value. Since the array is sorted, duplicates are consecutive. Scan through once, placing each value at a different place. From last unique, this thing, or offend single pass. Okay. I think that's a... Dude, did I just say no? I don't know. So, recently I think my Claude code has started responding to... Probably enabled mouse focus track something for tmux and that kind of data. Just continue, dude. So notes is what I wanted for 2.6. Right. So I wanted for 2.6 in here. Yeah. Cool. So we did that. Pointer iterating through the array. Pointer tracking where... Okay, since the array is sorted, duplicates consecutive, something like that. Scan through once, placing the value unique at, and then return this thing. I don't quite honestly like... So whatever, like I feel haiku was perfect for this kind of stuff because it's not going to cost me much. But it's kind of an asshole too that always I have to keep on saying, hey, look at the format, don't mess it up. But okay, whatever. Why is it saying cross? I don't quite know what cross means, but okay. So in here, we have to go and see 26. Okay. Yeah, this makes sense. That's another problem. So we have to fix this thing. Does that fix it? Kind of fixes it for now. But we definitely have to write the correct parser. Yeah. We have to fix the parser which is doo-doo. But okay, that's fine. Okay. So what's the... I want... just like this. It becomes a lot more easier, honestly. So let's actually go here. And this is a easy problem. This is an easy problem. The tags that you have is array 2 pointers, array 3 pointers, and okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah, so this I have to refresh. Okay, I refreshed and that came up to be new. 80 is also this thing, right? 80. Okay. So is this not done? We'll see if it's done or not. One thing I think I forgot. No, I did that. Okay. I probably didn't actually solve it in C. Oh, I did actually solve it in C, but it's pretty... For C, 24 seconds, 24 milliseconds of runtime is pretty slow, I think. And just look at the analysis. Yeah, maybe we can go out here. I don't know if that's a real... So let's see how we do this is... given an integer array num sorted in non-decreasing order, remove some duplicates in place such that each unique element appears to be at most twice. The relative order of the elements should be kept the same. Since it's impossible to change the length, you must just... Okay, so that makes sense. So in here, we can simply say the last unit was this. I insert at 0 and the current is at 0. So insert it as of where I want to insert it. And yeah. So while the current is less than this, I push this guy in here and I say this is my start. And I just take a streak of what that particular number is, right? Makes sense. Then I simply say, not quite sure what is last unique required for in here, but we'll see. So, while current is less than this thing, so we get the streak. I don't think we use this, yeah. We don't use this, we don't use this. So then we say the count is the minimum of this thing. And we keep on incrementing just for 2, and then we just push that there. And we return insert that. Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. This works. This is too slow. I'm not sure why is it slow. We can try to get rid of this. But technically speaking, we are still iterating of n because of the fact that I always move the current pointer within this. So even though it's two internal loops, I still have to go through each and every element once. The only problem here is this. The only problem here is this. But this shouldn't act a lot because it's either 0, it won't be 0. Yeah, so it can be 0, 1, or 2. So I don't think this is also a bottleneck. So we're gonna go at this for now and just keep that. So let's say this is medium. I'm hoping so. This is array and 2 pointers. Okay, so let's look at see if any other tags are at pointers. No. What is notes in here? Okay, so let's actually write. Let's ask Claude to write some notes. CD problems. Claude, let's here. Create the notes.md for the solution 80. Okay, cool. So I think that is done. So this is the next to do. Okay. Which is 88. Okay, so this is this. What are you saying in here? Grouping with bounded duplication. Start marks the this thing. Current advance through the array to find the end of the group. Inserts at tracks where it plays the next batch of elements. For each group of identical elements, count how many are there. At most 2 are done. Write that many copies to the position. Move the next group. Often, yeah. So I feel we have to do that for now. Something broke my parser for sure, but yeah. Also, kind of like always have to say this guy. Maybe I can create a cloud.md. I'm pretty sure all the models would actually look at cloud.md. Let's see how it actually looks on the website. Yeah. I still have to fix this part where my parser doesn't work if I just do that and kind of collapses into a single line. So I have to convert those. Fuck you. So I have to convert those into proper links and stuff like that. We'll do that. A couple of other things to actually work on the website. So I don't normally. The website design is done by Claude, but yeah, usually the generator and the code for the actual problems I do write. I mean, if I let AI write it, it's gonna take away the fun of doing this entire thing, right? There are millions of C solutions, and like there would be no point of me doing this entire exercise, I suppose. Apparently, we also did this, or I'm pretty sure I wrote a okay, so I'm just gonna delete this guy. And we'll see what is the problem statement because I feel the solution is not done. Huh? Oh, solution is done? Oh, wow. What do we do here? What is the question, by the way? You're given 2 integers, nums1 and nums2. Both are in non-decreasing order. So they're in sorted order, non-decreasing, which means equal or like less than or equal to the next element. Represent the number of elements in this thing. Merge this thing into a single array. So we have to first allocate the array, I suppose, or do you give enough memory into something? Merge nums1 and nums2 into a single array in non-descending order. The final sorted array should not be returned by the function, but instead be stored inside nums1. Okay. To accommodate this, nums1 is on the length of this thing, where the first 10 elements. Okay, so how do we do this? We provide a cursor to the back of the list. Makes sense. And I suppose we provide another cursor to the end element of the first one, end element of the second one, and then we just say, okay, so we go from the back because otherwise we would end up overwriting all of those stuff. And if we are left over with I, which is M, which is original array, so we don't care, but if we are left over with something for J, we do that. Makes sense. Okay, right. The nodes.md for the solution. What is the problem statement? 0088. Make sure to align with the design of not other, let's just give it a very simple one. So 001 nodes.md. Yeah. Let's do that. So meanwhile, we can do some of these things. So I suppose this is the easy one. I hope so. This is the easy one. And if we go to topics, it should be array 2-pointer sorting. Array 2-pointers sorting. This is not a draft anymore. I want to publish this. Okay. So what does it say? Oh my god, Tmux selection doesn't go above this many lines, which is weird. Okay. So what did it actually write? A naive merge would allocate a temporary array and start from this, but we can do better. Motherfucker, the question is to merge into... Since nums1 has enough space to hold both the elements, we can merge backward from the end. This approach compares element... No. The question asks to merge into nums1. So do not fucking invent thoughts. Just understand the solution and write the... I could have written it myself, dude, like instead of prompting it to write the approach. Write the approach in precise manner. Concise manner. Yeah. Okay, backward merge using 3 pointers. I and J pointers to the last elements in nums1, and that makes sense. Right position starting from the end of nums1 at n+1 - 1 might make sense. Compare elements from both arrays and place a larger one at cursor moving blah blah blah. Okay, why does it always, like, can't you fucking see that I really don't like this thing's... Doesn't quite go with the design unless it's very important to mention. So merge starter array, is that it? So it's an easy thing. You have an approach. Yeah, so you again have the same issue where my parser doesn't work. That's fine, I suppose, for now. It's fine, I suppose, for now. We gotta fix this later on. Somewhere I have to put in a to-do to actually do this. Cool. We don't allocate extra space. The time taken is n+n. That makes sense. Okay. So do we have anything else in to-do which I have done? Okay, why did it not pick up? Difficulty easy. Maybe I have to refresh. Okay, so if I don't refresh, it doesn't work. Very good. Reverse words in a string. Did I solve this problem? What is the problem statement? 151. 151. Okay, so we didn't do this. Awesome. So we can actually solve this today. Cool. Given an input string s, reverse the order of the words. A word is defined as a sequence of non-space characters. The words in s will be separated by at least one space. Return a string in the words concatenated by a single space. Okay. Note that S may contain leading or trailing spaces or multiple spaces between two words. S may contain leading or trailing spaces or multiple spaces between two words. The return string should only have a single space separating the words. Do not include any extra spaces. Well, we all know how to basically parse through the string and then get out an array of words, but it's going to be a little bit difficult in C because we are working with C strings, which is not a string but a character array, so we have to have fucking terminators and all that. But what I was thinking here is that instead of doing terminators and all that, can we actually, but again, like a quick disclaimer, I'm not a low-level developer. This entire thing that I'm doing, I thought it's fun. Like one night I just thought, oh, seedcode.com. And then I started actually loving coding in C, and I think like I'm gonna explore it more, and it's really fucking fun. It's very, very simple. It's very fucking fun. But the pain in the ass thing is that so maybe some of the things I do is not very memory efficient when you actually work with low-end systems. But yeah, so maybe we make some wrong decisions about memory allocation and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Right, we'll see. So so what is the solution in here, right? The main solution in here is you have to split the words and accumulate them in an array. That's the very first thing that you have to do. One thing, I would just remove that, and I would say I need a function which says which returns a string, and I'm just gonna say substring, okay? And it takes up this thing in here, int from int end, okay? Returns a C string, which is a substring. I don't know how to say. Well, it of course has to return a C string because I return a character, right? It returns a substring of S from to end, both inclusive. We can just do that, I suppose, right? We can do that, I suppose. So I feel one of the things we have to do in here is we have to allocate the memory, and we cannot just allocate it on the stack because I have to return it back here. So the way to do that is malloc, so you take the size of character into so you take the size of each one character, which is nothing but 1 byte on my machine, and then you multiply it by the length, which we can simply say is end minus from plus 1. That's the length of the string, right? Because both are inclusive, so both are inclusive. So I suppose we can say this is the length that we have to allocate for those many number of this thing. But in here, let's actually not do that. Man, I have to unbind F1, dude. So plus 1 in here because we really want that null terminator, right? We want that null terminator into length. Right, and so this should be casted into this because it returns void pointer. Here's our let's just say substring. Okay, so for int I equals from I less than equal to end I plus plus sorry, and here I'm just gonna say substring of I should be equal to I becomes from, so if I subtract it, it becomes 0. S of from I, right? And at the very end, substring of length, which would be the length minus 1. But we have to do length minus 1, right? a very, yeah, because we added one, so I suppose we have to do that. Right, and this is a null terminated thing. Return substring. We could have returned it with a length, but can you just, the problem here is like returning it back with a substring will not probably help me, I feel. But we have to test this out. We have to test this out. So how do we test this out? So one of the ways to actually do that is int main hello world, and then we say substring, we pass in s, and let's say I want from 1 to 1, what is it, 4 characters, so maybe I want from 1 to 5. All right, so this is 0 1 2 3 4, so we need 4. So fmt, sorry, how do you print here? Printf substring equals s and s1. So we would know if that's an issue or not, right? Load std ioh. Yeah. So what is the problem number? 0151. CCO solution. Okay. How fucking works. So if I say 1 to 1, it's just E because it starts at 1 and ends at 1. Makes sense, right? Cool. So our substring is correct. Cool. So we can actually extract out words, and let's actually do that. So let's actually do that. So do we have a test case in here? So we do have a test case. Yeah, so we do have this, right? So what we have to do is so let's actually get the length. Int length is str length of s, right? This is the length of this thing, entire thing in here. Then we have to say, hey, int I equals 0, I less than length I plus plus. From here, we are going to extract out each character. The only problem here is that, so let's actually do it in a different way, right? Int I equals 0, while I less than length. So let's just say start is also, I think this should be renamed to, why is it not? Yeah. Let's call it start. The next thing that I wanted to say here is start is from start to end indices. I think that's a better way to say that, right? Anyways, so this is current. Then I'm going to say while s of I is not equal to, you don't do it in that way, so I think it's called is space. Yeah, so is space where s of I sorry, so while it's not that, you simply say this thing, simply say this, right? Another thing I want to say is end. Actually, since I already did that, I probably will do that. Okay. So till the time you actually hit a space, you can, keep on iterating. Cool. So next thing that I do want to do is I love this playlist. I love this playlist. Wow. Really love this playlist. It's by Abhinash Yadav. I think the playlist is by Abhinash Yadav. It's a good playlist. Cool. So we actually go ahead and skip over to that place where we found a space and we want to get a substring now. Right. So we want to get a substring now. Substring equals substring of s start I -1 and what's the error in here? Wait, you're telling me I cannot do that? Okay. So let's just call that word. Okay. So here you have word. I really don't think that's a... How is that a non-copyright song? Okay. I don't think that's a non-copyright song. Okay, so I'm just gonna change the music. Just give me one quick second in here. Let's see if we can get some high beats. I don't know what that is, but I think it's some pop beats, but we can listen to this. We can listen to a little bit of this, I think. Cool. Okay, coming back to this. Print f word is this. We print the word. Okay, but I also want to skip over all the spaces. So while is space s of I plus plus. But we have to be a little bit careful in here. I is less than length. So we have to do the bounce check, otherwise we're gonna get fucked. I is less than length. That's pretty much it. Right? I suppose we are good, honestly. Let's see. Sky is blue. Fuck yeah. So what if I put an extra space in here? Sky is blue. Cool, we actually did it. We actually did it. Look at that. Look at that. We actually did it. I mean, if you have the logic intact, I feel it's not a big issue. The only problem with C is if you fuck around with pointers and then it becomes like I haven't built a. Hey Addy, hello. The moment you fuck around with pointers and you don't know what you're doing, I think that's like we haven't yet built a real application. This is like stupid stuff we are doing lead code with C. I'm still thinking of a good first project with C that I'm gonna do. Still don't have one, but I think that is when I would really learn C. This I think is not teaching me. It just taught me the basics of like quickly typing C. I feel that's what it has done. But yeah, whatever. So anyways, we can actually extract out the words, which means that we can now boom actually do this problem statement, right? Because now it becomes more easy. So how do we do that? How do we do that? We can probably, you know, go ahead and start reverse words character s, and we can copy steal some of the code. I mean, I'm stealing my code. That's fine, I think. So in here I am going to sorry. So this is where we actually have all the words, right? What I'm gonna do here is one important thing we can do is main s. Sorry, not main. Reverse words. Sorry. And that's pretty much it, I suppose. But now that we have the words, we have to accumulate them in an array. So malloc size of one string or one character array into damn it dude, this is a problem. So we have to do dynamic arrays in C. We have to do dynamic arrays in C, buddy. We can do that. So type def struct, let's call it an array, and here what you have is the data, u int 32t, you have the size, and u int 32 capacity. So you have a capacity, right? So since we have the capacity, I can simply say new array u int 32t capacity. So what it's gonna return? It's gonna return me an array. It's gonna return me an array. So the very first thing we have to do in here is character data is so let's first allocate the array, right? So malloc, let's actually do calloc. Fuck you. Okay, sometimes this auto format is also a stupid bitch. Okay, what do we do? So I think here, so for calloc, right? What you have here is first you have size n member and then the size t size. Number of members and then size. I mean, it really doesn't matter, but it just feels correct. It just feels good to be pedantically correct, I feel. Okay. So here you have character pointer. The only difference between malloc is that it's not going to initialize. In here, it's actually going to initialize. So here I'm going to say, I'm going to cast this to an array pointer. Array is going to be this thing. So in here, wait, my bad. This is 1. And in here, it will be capacity and size of character. And here also, we did a mistake. This is going to be size of 100. And yeah, so we have to typecast it like this. Cool. Okay. Then what? We can simply say return array. So we have to set everything first. Array capacity is capacity. Array capacity is equal to capacity. Array data is equal to data. Size should be initialized to 0 because we used calloc, right? Okay, so we have that. What else is required now? So now I can simply say I need a push and a pop stuff, right? So void add array add, I'm gonna say that. Do I need a size? I don't feel I need a size for now because these are all C strings, so I'm already taking into consideration that it's going to be null terminated and stuff like that, right? So this also, I'm gonna say this. So I think some of the patterns that I'm learning doing lead code is I need a library which I have written, which is dynamic array. I don't quite know how I can generalize it. It's very, very difficult to generalize until and unless I actually convert everything to a void pointer and my client-side code needs to, you know, keep on toggling between the types, which I don't think is a good idea. Is that how people do it in the industry? And you see developers watching me right now, if you know how it's done, because it doesn't have generics, so which means I really cannot create an array for a generic type. So that's one thing. Second thing is I probably want a string helper array where I can do substrings, where I can do trim and stuff like that. But again, the question is, do I create a struct which is a string, which is a size string, or do I still work with C strings? I don't know. And along with string, I also need a string builder. And yeah, just a string builder I think is fine. Because strings will be mutable. It's not a programming language that I'm going to create strings as immutable. So yeah, whatever. Okay, so how do we add this? The very first thing we have to do is if array size is greater than equal to array capacity, I have to simply say array capa. Oh, we didn't pass the array, of course. It's not a method in here, like, right? Right, so in here, capacity capacity can be array capacity. We can multiply it by 2, and then we have to reallocate everything. We have to reallocate every stuff, right? So I don't quite know, because I know there is something called mem move. So it takes a destination, it takes the source, and it does. Okay, maybe we can do that. It copies n bytes. That's important. It copies n bytes, which means we also need the size of what is the character size, because we don't know. So each of the because it's a pointer size, right? So if we just copy over the pointers, maybe that's correct. I don't quite know. That's a good question. That's a good question. Maybe I'm quickly going to ask I am writing a C code. Do not shit out code or too much text. Be to the point to explain what I ask. Thank you. During resize, we will realloc the data field. Now question is, can I simply use memmove destination array data, and count is nothing but the count is nothing but the count is nothing but I'm gonna put down the headphones for sometimes and not listen to music. Okay, so array data, array size into size of character star. Instead of since we are holding pointers of a string or character array inside the data, and we simply work with the pointer size, or we have to do length of each string into array size. Let's see what it actually says and if it's actually correct or not. Yeah, since data is a pointer of character star, copying like this copies all the string pointers. You do not have to multiply, but with realloc you don't need to move at all. Realloc preserves the existing pointer entries. Oh, okay, this is a shallow resize. The strings stay where they are. Acha. So if I actually did a malloc, okay, my bad, sorry. I can simply say realloc, right? So if I say realloc, I have to provide a nullable point. I have to provide a nullable pointer. Okay. I don't quite understand, honestly. Now, also, what's the difference between realloc and realloc array? So, what does it say? The realloc function changes the size of the memory block pointer to size bytes. The content of the memory will be unchanged in the range from the start to the region up to the minimum of old to new sizes. If the new size is larger than the old size, the added memory will not be initialized. Okay, if the pointer is null, the call is equivalent to malloc If the pointer is null, then the call is equivalent to malloc of size for all values of this thing. Okay. Damn it, dude, why does it not? Sometimes i3 acts in a very weird way, I don't know. So, I can simply do realloc data, sorry, array data and array capacity. Is that it? Yeah, express the size in bytes, so I still have to do that. Okay, but wait, what? Wait, hold on. I want to exit out from here, honestly. And I have man pages in here, which is realloc. Wait, this dude just hallucinated and told me shit. This motherfucker told me realloc express the size in bytes. Oh no, this is a multiplication. Sorry, you're not an idiot. You're not scammer. You told me the right thing. Okay, so you always expected. Okay, makes sense. So we can simply do in here is we can say realloc array data. Then I have to say size of array capacity into size of one of the pointers, right? And this would return back this, and I can assign it back to this. I feel that's how you do that, right? So now, since we have resized, what I can simply do is now I can say so array size was 0 at first, so array of data array size is equal to s, but I also then have to increment this in here. That I suppose is all. So in here, what was I doing? Okay. Yeah, okay, makes sense. So I have to allocate array init with a capacity of something. I really don't know what I have to allocate it in here with, because I have no clue. So we can just go to the problem statement and see what is the maximum length. The maximum length is 10 to the power 4. So the resize is actually going to be very, very slow if I give it only 10. That's kind of the problem which I kind of wanted to avoid, but we'll just give 10 for now. With huge strings. With increasing number of words. This leads to too many reallocs in case of high word count. But yeah, we're just gonna go with that. Array. So in here, when you actually got the word, I do want to extract it out, and I want to say array add. And so I have to provide the array, I have to provide the word. That's pretty much it, right? Now we need to combine everything together. we need to combine everything together back again. And the question is, how do we do that? How do we do that? So I suppose what we can do in here is, let's allocate a string. Let's allocate a string. I'm just gonna see result is our pointer calloc size of. So here's the thing, how many words are gonna be there? Well, we have array size as there's a little bit of issue in here because yeah, array size is not the correct thing because we really want to copy over, so that becomes a problem, right? Because I don't want to keep the pointers dangling and I copy it over, and then I feel we have to copy over the string. Do we have to copy over the string? That's the question. So how do we do this? So we have a list of words. You know what I first want to do in here is so I want to say I equals 0, I less than array size, I plus plus, printf word is array data of I. I feel that should be it. I feel that should be it. CD problems 015. And we have it, right? So we can simply also say array size -1 and greater than 0, I minus minus. And it just reverse prints it. So we have got this guy reverse, but we don't quite know how to actually accumulate them. You know, one small trick we can do in here. We can do a small trick. Int total length is 0. So the moment you actually get this back, sorry, the moment you actually get this back, where you get back the substring, which is a word, so you can simply say str length, sorry, you can simply say I minus start int total length plus this thing. Word length without the null terminator, right? Because that's not this thing, because I feel that's what we need, right? I feel that's what we need. So we are also going to quickly do a debug on that, that we didn't mess up anything. Printf d total length so blue is 4, 2 6, 3 is 9, 3 is 12. Boom, we have that. It means we actually have the length of all the words together, right? So now what we have to simply do is space is one character, and between each of the words we need one space, which means that we just have to know the number of words, which you know, which is array size, so we just need one less. Cool. And let's say this is result size. So we're gonna go with that. This is result size. Let's remove that. Actually, let's not maybe remove that. So in here, result size plus equals array size minus 1. Adding space for words count minus 1 spaces and 1 null terminator. Right. So in here, what sorry, what we have to do is character result is char star malloc size of character into result size. So now we are going reverse, right? We are going reverse. Now what we have to do is we don't have the size information, so we need that now. Str length of array data word should be array of data. I think incompatible point width. Oh, sorry. At I. Right, that's what we are looking at. So I what is it? Word. Now in here what we're going to do is for int j equals 0, j less than n, and j plus plus. So we also need a cursor. Current is 0. This is the cursor over the result itself. So in here we are going to say that result of cursor should be equal to word of j. Then simply word of, well, have to move the pointer ahead. Current plus plus should be equal to a space. Man ASCII. Space is 32, I think, right? Which is decimal. Okay, second. Yeah, so this is space, and I believe you can just do a backslash n, backslash s, which is giving an error. Okay, so maybe we can do it like this. Yeah, we can do it like this, I suppose. And then result of result size minus 1 should be equal to the null terminator, and we return the result. Oh fuck. Result is this. Star reverse is this. Print f reversed should be this thing, and in here you print that. I am hoping so that works. Blue is sky the. Wait, what was the strength? The sky is blue. We did it. Okay, we did it. Let's have another test case right away. So hello world. Yeah, so this is what exactly I want. This is what exactly I want. And wait a second, what just fucking happened? World, hello. We did it, bro. I'm just gonna keep sorry. I'm just gonna keep things around in case I messed up, so I can debug a little bit. We have a space at the end. Yeah, that's wrong. So we can quickly fix that by simply saying what? If I is greater than 1. Wait, no. How do we know it's the last word? I would be equal to 0. And yeah. So if this is that, this is when you do that. Well, I cannot tab into that. Where am I adding this? Yeah. If I'm not wrong. Okay, something is off. Because you have something at the end for all of them. Did we allocate extra space in here? I mean extra... we did a +1. Well, words are 4, which means I need 3 spaces. And I have 3 words, so I need 2 spaces. +1 for the non-terminator, right? So what is wrong in this? I think this is wrong. Yeah, no, that is not wrong, because in here also we do the same thing. So we get the length as end minus start +1. Array size is going to give you the number of words, honestly. If the string data type is mutable in your language, can you solve it in place of 1 extra space? Oh, that's a follow-up question. That's an interesting question, and I don't want... I never actually saw that follow-up question, and I never did it, because even for Java, at least we can do a string buffer and then do that. Maybe I do it in that way. God knows. Anyways, so what are we missing in here? We are definitely missing something, because so what if I do this, where I don't add the +1, which I'm not sure why I'm doing it, but yeah, I'm just gonna say that if I don't do the +1, does that work? It doesn't work, and that makes sense, because I need to have a +1 for the null terminator, so this just didn't make sense at all for me. It's where we are fucking around. So only problem here is there's just one thing in here. So if I actually remove this, right, which we go back to the old code, the only thing failing here was if you have an extra term. Okay, so if you have terminal stuff in here, this is where you actually also take this into account. So we are actually parsing it wrong. Nothing else is wrong, because everything else, if it doesn't have any, okay, so that makes sense. So let's actually go ahead and look in here of what is the issue. array size, well, this is not where we are doing that. We are doing it here, right? So we start from 0 and we go till the length and we say start is this. So we have a pointer to start and we say that, okay, till the time there is no spaces, you keep on continuing. And it's either going to end at length because it actually can overflow. So it actually ends at length, or it actually ends at space. And since we are doing here both inclusive, so we have to do I minus 1. So I don't see a problem in here. Then we add the word, which is fine. So printf the problem is okay, so what we can do is so we added extra these things, and in here I'm gonna print the word. Well, that's not how I did want to do that. So that seems like a good idea. And word. Cool. Ah, the first thing is coming up as empty. That's the problem. The extraction is not the problem. The problem is this. So in here, the solution is very simple. Solution is not that simple actually, because if I go to the end, yeah, that's the solution. Yeah. So we first skip over all of them, and yeah, so we first skip over all of that. And then we actually start extracting. And that should hopefully solve our problem. But it didn't solve on the end part. Why it didn't solve on the end part? I suppose what we can do here is if I is equal to length, we break out of it. But why did it? What? Oh, my bad. Format is freak out. I guess that's why a lot of people. Yeah, okay. So this is okay, but now we are not adding this thing in here. So this is wrong. What if I just comment this out? And yeah, so now I suppose it should be good, but I want to quickly, want to see if there's any trailing zeros or something like that. So trailing spaces or something like that. So I'm just going to say this and this. We still have that. So it's kind of messy, honestly. Like, I'm not sure. My bad. Yeah. So that should be the solution. That should be the solution. Wait, I messed that up. My bad. This is -1. And well, not that. I think this thing works. Okay. And okay, so we are still quite slow, but a lot of people actually did quite fast. I'm not sure. Maybe that's an environment thing, and I probably shouldn't bother. Yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna bother right now. So So now I'm gonna say write the notes.md for 0, 1, 5, what was it? 1? Yeah. Make sure to be precise on size and always refer to other notes.md to see the structure. Cool. So let's see what it cooks up and everything. Meanwhile, we probably can do all of this bookkeeping stuff where we say this is medium and tags here are tags topics, 2-pointer string, 2 pointers and string. And I honestly want to do this. I really want to do this. Follow up with the data string is mutable in your language and you solve it in one place. But yeah, not today. 2-pass algorithm with dynamic array. Parse the string to extract words, skipping leading and trailing and intermediate spaces. Store each word in a dynamic array. I mean, why can't you just say array? What? Okay, but okay, I'm gonna let go the clunker today. Iterate the array in reverse order, concatenate the words with single spaces between them. 1 pass to extract the words, 1 pass to build a reverse O of n. O of n is what is n here? What is n here? This is the place you need to say what is n, and this is the time that you don't say. For every other notes, you keep on bullshitting. N is the length of the input string s. No. No. We do this in here. We do this code. So if n equal number of words, are you sure it's O of n? I mean, I shouldn't shit on it much because it's haiku. It's not opus. It's not fable. Fable is pretty good. It redesigned my website in this way, and I kind of like it, but the first 2 solutions, it was complete trash, so I had to handhold it a lot. So I didn't do it the first go where I said, okay, this is all the things I want. So it messed up a lot of stuff, and but yeah, I mean, I feel this is a pretty better design than what I had before. You are right to the question. Looking at the loop, bhai batana de. At most twice. Length of input string. Ah, okay. That makes sense. Cool. Write the notes. Cool. Let's see. Yeah. 2-pass algorithm, parse string, blah 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 blah. The length of the parse all characters on the iterate. Okay, so in here I feel this makes more sense. So the solution can be deleted. This solution does not have a main, so cool with that. And notes, because we are a little bit issue with our parsing, we'll fix that. So in here also I remember in here, what was the problem statement? Reverse. Dude, oh my bad, sorry. Reverse words in a string. Wait. Yeah, in here I always split. So like even the parsing is very specific to what I do. So if I do that, it's gonna come down. So the parsing is, and I don't probably need to say this. And in here also I think it's quite obvious. Yeah. The parsing is also very specific to how I write this. So if I mess something up in here, it doesn't quite render correctly. So as you can see here, so these are not lists, these are like separate texts. So these should be actually ordered list and unordered list because we don't parse them correctly. But yeah, so maybe I do that with AI, maybe I actually do that myself. I have no idea. When it comes to doing, when I'm in the mood to do, I'll do that. No idea if I will actually fix it or anytime soon. But yeah, okay. So I think we also have. Wait, did it actually fix everything? So it's a medium. It has all this stuff. Reverse is done. So we still have 3 more. Okay, so we still have 3 more. Read and characters given 4. Given read 4. Okay, did we actually solve this? Array resizing. You can get away. Buff capacity and all that. We did a bunch of stuff in here, which... Wait, hold on. Why does it... What? Okay, what is the problem number 158? Okay, so... Okay, I know. What's the issue? I know what's the issue. This is something I'm kind of fucking tired about. We can fix that, honestly. Again, it's a parsing issue because it has to be in the same line. So we always split with this. But I mean, that's fine. So what is the question? So lead code 158. Lead code 158. Everybody has the same questions and they keep selling the courses. I don't know why. Like why how people are buying it. If anybody's watching me right now, do you think I should I should put this website under a paywall and say that look at it, boys, look at it. Solutions of leak code in C, the holy grail of DSA. Because I literally just googled this. I didn't even google the name. I googled leak code 158. Algo Monster has the same thing. I don't know who owns that. Leak code C is for Canada. Walk CCC. Gitbooks.io. Somebody has written a book on it. Hello Interview has the same thing. But in Hello Interview's defense, their YouTube channel, if I'm not wrong, this is the one, right? Learn system design. Yeah, so their system design discussions, at least I don't know how the course is, but if you watch their YouTube channel, I can probably Hello Interview. This is the guy. That is not it. Cool. So I don't think maybe Hello Interview. Maybe the handle is different. Yeah, so hello_interview. Yeah, so if you guys have not watched this channel, please go visit. I'm not associated with them. I didn't buy their course, but in general I feel the content that they have on YouTube is pretty good, without any bullshit. One of the main things I realized that there's no bullshit is because it's a 53-minute video and it's a 17-minute video, depending on the proximity search. Low level design, it's a 1-hour interview. It's not a 10-20 minutes video just going through. I mean, they're still gonna go through high level stuff, so explain some of, like, skip some of the low level stuff, because I feel until unless you actually start working with the system, you're really not gonna face those issues. But yeah, whatever. Yeah, go check it out. But anyways, maybe I can put this under a paywall and say that, hey. But I feel people are not going to pay nowadays for DSA because it's the era of AI and people are just going to ask AI to write the DSA code. I'm asking AI here to write the notes for me and teach me a little bit of stuff on C, but not actually provide a solution. But yeah, I think people do that for all cases, I suppose. Cool. Does this actually work? And what did I do? What is the question? Okay, let's go ahead. So given a file. Okay. Given a file and assume that you can only read the file using a given method. Okay, implement a method read to read n characters. Okay, so for what reason have I written buff for? I don't know. So you can read n characters, which I'm pretty sure you're gonna. This is read. Sometimes I cannot get the cursor working, but if I just reset to everything to default. Oh, okay, so they give me the underscore method in here, which is this, and you give me a solution object. I don't know what that is. This is a solution object. Oh wow, nice name. Oh, okay, so I can create a solution object and I can create something in here. And okay. So you're given a buffer and you have to read n number of bytes into the buffer. Destination, but I never actually check if the buffer has enough size. Do we check? We never check that. That's weird. This is very weird. We actually never check if the buffer has enough size to write into it. But otherwise we have to reallocate, right? Because it's on the heap and it's with certain size. We never do that, do we? Realloc, no. Malloc. Oh, we do malloc, but this is the... Okay, so this is something else. This is basically initializing this buffer for reading 4 characters at a time, which you can read with that read method in here, right? And just to make it compile, I just did a -1 thing in here. We can also do a forward declaration, say that, you know, your implementation is going to come from some linker. But yeah, I'm not gonna maybe we can change that, honestly. Why not? Why not, right? But the only question here is that, so how do we do this? So this is a very, I think, nice thing. So what we have to do is we have to read 4 characters and we know how many characters we read, and if it's actually less, then we know that we are at the end of the file stream itself, right? So we just stop doing that. If the object size is 0 or object cursor is at object size. That makes sense. So if you're at the very end of it, if you're at the very starting, or your cursor is at the object size, which means you've already read what you're supposed to read. Object size is read 4, so you just read into that particular buffer 4 characters at a time, or 4 bytes at a time, and then you reset the cursor. Makes sense. And then if it's actually greater than 0, if it's equal to 0, you break out because you haven't read anything, so it doesn't make sense. So then you just increment this guy and you say, okay, yahan se you keep on reading that stuff, makes sense, cursor plus plus, and you move the cursor because you have read till that point, so you move the cursor, and okay, makes sense. N minus minus because you're seeing how many characters you've read. It shouldn't be the N. That's weird. That's weird. I don't know how this is working. This is I don't think this is working. Is this working? Also, I think I have to go now. It's already 11 o'clock, so I feel I have to go now. But let's see if this is working, because I don't think so. It should be working. I have no idea. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I just didn't define that buff thing. Okay, I have to use some nice stuff. In the function, implicit declaration of this thing. Yeah, so wait, what? Read for, you are supposed to provide the link, right? Or are you telling me I have to? Yeah, maybe I have to. Okay. Maybe I have to forward declare, and that is happy with that. I'm not sure. We'll see. Okay, so that becomes happy, and you read it correctly. Okay. So if I submit this, you read it correctly. So what are we doing in here? So you have a solution which has a buffer. It has a cursor and it has a size. Okay. Also, why did we actually do this kind of a buffer and not a fixed size? Because we need it on the heap. If I'm not wrong, you really cannot have a static size. Can we do, by the way? Chat. Can we have a static size buffer character array on the heap. How to allocate it. Language is C. Be precise. I hope it doesn't shit out a lot of code and text, but yeah. Let's actually. Oh, you can do that. So, wait, hold on. That's what I'm saying. You still did. I meant instead of decaying, can we do here array 256? Anyway, this syntax works for heap alloc, or is it just for stack? Or is it just for stack, buddy? Tell me. Not directly this. Creates an actual array but not on the heap. Ah, this is just... Oh, you can do this. That's a very fucking weird syntax. Sorry, weird syntax. On the heap while preserving its type. So you can say that it's a 256 thing and its size of star array. Well, I don't think so. I understand. I'll be very honest. Like, what the heck is this? I don't think so. I understand. Both allocate 256 bytes. The first user pointed to an array of 256 characters. The second user pointed to the character. Okay, so for now, I'm just gonna ignore this and this works. So I'm gonna say create the nodes.md for the file. 0158. I don't have to say be precise. It keeps on doing the same shit over and over again. So let's actually do this. So page down, page down, page down. Oh, this is it. Okay. Buffering with stateful cursor. Exactly. So maintains an internal buffer to cache up to 4 characters. Read from there. Track cursor and position across multiple calls for each character requested. If the buffer is empty or cursor exhausted, refill with read 4. If no more data available, return. Copy character from buffer to result and advance cursor, return total characters read. Handles multiple calls by preserving unread characters in the buffer for subsequent calls. Wherein the number of characters read of one fixed internal buffer of 4 characters. Makes sense. So what is the thing for... Oh, this is a hard problem. Wow. Okay, so we did another hard problem. Hard. What all tags do you have in here? Array simulation interactive. What the heck is interactive meaning? Array. I'm just gonna say array. And this is not it. The only problem here is because I have format saver, it is formatting because my line width is more. So the only way to fix that is wait, let me first actually accept this guy and I'm gonna increase the volume a little bit. Anyone watching me right now can say that if I'm blasting your ears. If not, I can increase the volume a little bit for you guys too. I feel it's quite low, so we can increase it a little bit. We are still way below in the green zone. Oh man, I keep yeah, so I do wanna keep that and I don't want to keep that, but now I have to fix this guy, right? Sorry, so I have to go to 0158 a nano solution, and write out, yes. Okay, and if I'm not wrong, you exit out using X. Okay, so we can simply say head 10 solution, and that works. Cool. So I'm gonna close this guy, I'm gonna close this guy, and hopefully this works. So read. That didn't work. Fuck. I cannot open it in Vim. So let me open it here, and I don't know how to navigate through this stuff in here. Oh, okay. Because it's notes, and it needs a space, that's all. Like I said, guys, so the parser is very specific to how I write things, and that's why the front matter parser is also simply parsing out. That's why it is like, okay, if I go to the new line and do, sorry, yeah, so if I save this, this is gonna break. This is gonna break. It's not gonna work anymore. But yeah, we can fix that sometime later, honestly. I don't quite know how to fix it. Do I want to go to the next line and read? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But let's read that out. Yes, please, and exit. Okay, cool. So that works fine. If I click on this, takes you to the actual problem screen. Okay. I was also thinking one more thing. If anybody thinks, like, in general, also I wanted to have a review of how do you think is the website design. Just go to sequel.com and see, like, how is the colors, how are stuff. Because I was testing out Fable 5 on how to design this thing. I'm not good with UI stuff, but yeah. I don't know if it did a good job. It did a good job, whatever Opus did in the very first run, and whatever it was there. It did a pretty good, better job at this, but yeah. Anyways, do we have any other to-do? We have a bunch of other to-dos. Holy shit, we don't have any other to-dos? No, we are in this thing. Okay, so we have 3 more to-dos, and the only question is, can we actually do this shit tonight? Because it's already 11:16, so let's push through today. I'm in the mood. Let's push through today. Okay, so another to-do that we have to do in here is 443. 0443. Yeah. So let's actually go to okay. Given an array of characters, compress it using the following algorithm. Begin with an empty string S. I'll put down the volume a little bit so that I want to put on the volume for myself. Cool. Begin with an empty string S. For each of the group of consecutive repeating characters in character S, if the group's length is 1, append a character S. Otherwise, append a character followed by a group's length. So you're basically doing a RLE, okay? The complex should not be returned separately, but instead be stored in the input character. Oh, okay. Note that group lengths that are 10 or longer will be split into multiple characters in character. Yeah. So after you're done modifying the input array, return the new length of the array. So we do that. So we say cursor is 0. Okay, so while cursor is less than length, you push it to this particular thing and you say that, hey, this is the starting point. So till the time cursor doesn't go out of range, and till the time this is the same, you keep on iterating this thing. Well, count would be cursor minus start, because count would be overflowing by one side. So we would say that. And wait a second. Digits come later. Oh, append the character followed by the group's length. Okay. It's followed by the group's length and not like it's. Well, RLE, the number comes first, right? I forgot. RLE example. Also, we need to stop with the. Oh, I'm sorry for flashbanging, guys. Run length encoding example. Can you show me? Yeah, the number comes before in RLE, but yeah, it's very similar to. It's exactly RLE, but yeah, in also RLE you actually split out when you're above 9. That's fine. Okay, so what you do is you reverse the digits in the buffer from end to the start. Okay. So what you do, you first figure out the digit count ends here. Okay, so while count is greater than 0. Okay, so you actually mod out and then you add 0 to it, which is a cool thing because then it would get back the actual character. Though we don't actually do the explicit cast. Characters and integers would be explicitly casted, so you do this. And then you simply reverse digits because you always, because you did a mod, it always inserted from the end and not from the front. And then you just insert it, which also would take care of 100 because if the first comes 0, then comes 0, then come 1, so then you reverse it. So you don't have to always think about, okay, first if I reverse, I have to take care of what is the length and all that. I feel this is a fucking good solution, and I feel this is. Why don't I publish all this? I have no idea. Why didn't I publish all of these? Because of that. Because of that. Okay, so what is the problem in here? Address sanitizer buffer heap overflow. Okay. Also, it happens during this thing. So, I wonder. We can try it out here. I wonder if it's for that. And then you first have to do this, then you have to do that, and then you have to convert it to a character. Okay, so that's definitely not that, but I think it's more explicit thing that you're supposed to do in here. Why does it not why does it not go over? Also, why did I need an end? I can simply say this is insert at. Right. Insert at -1. I could have said that. But yeah, I didn't want to. Okay, so I would have ended up moving the insert at pointer, so I don't do that. Okay, so what is the issue in here? Let's quickly think about it. Also, one more thing I wanted to see is hold on, this is not a string, this is an array. What the fuck? But okay, and so start is insert at digit count starts from here. Digit count starts from here. Insert at. No, it does because I already increment this here. Okay, cool. Digit insertion starts from here. Or frequency, run frequency, or something like that starts from here. And the digit count ends here. Okay. So while count is 0, you say that you're going to insert in here. Then you divide the count and you say insert end is insert at. You can simply No, that's fine because we have to change the pointer again, so that's fair. What is an issue in here? I'm not getting that. So does it always fail in the very first attempt? Also, I'm supposed to return int. What? What am I supposed to return? Ah, the size, okay. Okay. Supposed to return the size in here. So right before doing this, I do want to printf string right now is this, and count is character is this, and count is this. So chars for the character you would have chars at start and count. So let's do that before we start all this. Right, let's start that before we start all of this. So hold on. This is wrong because we wrote it here and not here, so that's wrong. That's wrong. That's why this is failing. Why is this failing? Let's quickly see that. So your cursor moves to the point where a different character you have noticed. Then you're saying that insert plus plus is the thing. So you inserted the value there. Makes sense. And then you do that. And insert, I've already moved on from 0 to 1. But for some reason, this thing doesn't work. That's weird, man. And insert at. Okay, now I'm very, very sleepy. Insert at. Insert at 1. And when I do try to insert it, it doesn't. It doesn't insert at 1. It inserts here at 2. Not at 1. So let's actually have it in here. Right. So this is the first iteration where we say that, okay, I want to insert at this. Aha. I think this has to be this. Because, no, right. I feel it has to be this. Let's actually remove that and run this. Okay. So it is A2, B2. And then for the very last one, I didn't print because we actually are out of scope and everything. So yeah, okay. Reset. How do I reset the... How do I reset the test cases? Oh, okay, it's here. So I'm gonna remove this guy. And I want to run this. Run this. And this fails in here because it says 1 instead of A1, and it keeps on spamming A's and stuff. Okay. So let's actually quickly write this over because I don't think so. This is good. So probably this is going to be the last solution that we actually do. So this is the first one where we figured out that, oh, we didn't actually finish it. But yeah, okay. So this is how we're going to do. So we can quickly do a diagram. I have not set up my tab on this new manager, so Xcali. Why does it keep on opening Xcali this thing? Okay, so let's quickly take up a example of this. So I'm supposing if the length is 1, append the character. Yeah, so this is also missing, which is why so if I reset the test cases, right, this was failing. But yeah, so here's essentially what we're going to do. We have this. Okay, it cannot be that big, I suppose. Let's actually make it big. Right. So we have this, and what we're going to do is first thing is we need to know the streak. So we can start from here, and we can simply say start is equal to, so let's just say while I is less than length, right? So while I is less than length, start is I. So we start from in here, right? While the character at I is equal to the character at start, you do an I++. Of course, you do a check that it's still less than the length and all that. Well, not greater than, but less than. But yeah, you get the point, right? So we do a bounce check and we actually go through this entire thing, right? So the count can simply be, so where I'm right now, minus start. Okay. Now there's already an insert at, right? So we can simply say array of insert at is equal to is equal to the character, right? So it's basically s of start. That's it. Now the second thing that we want to do is we want to figure out the count. So I'm just gonna say if count is 1, simply continue. We don't have to do anything, but in here we also have to move this, so we can do that right here, which means now, so if I go through the first iteration, this is I, this is start, and this was insert at. Now we inserted this thing in here, so we can take a different color. So inserted this thing in here, and we did a plus plus, so now this becomes A, and this got inserted in here. Okay. How do I select this guy? Yeah. But the question here is that I already have a 2. So technically speaking, what's going to happen in here, right? I already have a 2. So while count is greater than 0, I'm going to say count mod 10. So this is going to give me the last count mod 10. This is going to give me the last one. This is going to give me the last one. And so whatever that number is, I can simply add it to 0. That should give me the ordinal for that particular person, for that particular character, and I can simply say that is cast to character or whatever. But I already moved this guy, right? So I can again assign this in here. I can again assign this in here. But I have to take another pointer because I know where start is. So number starts from is start plus 1. That's for sure, because I have a 2-digit number. I have a number which is more than 1, and it starts from start plus 1, because at start, no, right? This is insert at. This is where I started inserting. This is where I moved my insert pointer after I inserted this. So my pointer is here now. So from here, I have to also keep a count of how many times I have done this shit, right? So yeah, end can also be inclusive, and I can simply say this is at insert at, right? Now I have to simply say count is count by 10, and in here I can say, okay, move the pointer ahead, which I already did for here. So I suppose we don't need that right away. So in here we can say insert at. Now what we have to understand is insert at is on the other side, right? It's not on, like, it's 1 over. So now what we have to say is while start is less than end. I don't want to do it that way. So how do we do? So we have a start and an end, right? -1. Yeah, that makes sense. We can do less than, because if we are matching in the middle, we don't have to swap. Can you use a large font? Really? Oh, okay. I hope that's okay. That is too big, probably. I hope that's fine. I'm sorry for the fonts. I'm sorry for that. Okay. So we move from either side. Sorry. I hope that was not too loud. I just bashed my mic. Sorry for that. Okay, so my chain of thoughts went away. Sorry. Okay, so we start from 2 ends and we basically swap. That's all. Start and end, and start plus plus and minus minus. Right? That's all we have to write. I feel. That's all we have to write. I feel that's all we have to write. Let's actually get back. I hope the font on the terminal is okay. Just let me know. Cool. Okay, so now we actually have to get the solution. Where is my solution? Okay, so now we copy paste some code. I don't like this music, so I mean, still have good beats, but maybe I don't like. I mean, I'm at the end of the stream and I'm already tired, so maybe I'll just listen to this for now. Okay, so let's see if we can do this. So what we have to say in here is int current is 0, and which is basically I on the right hand side, and in here you can say while int insert at is also 0, right? While current is less than chars size start is I. Okay, so while, let's do this, character ch equals chars of start. Okay, so while your current, my bad, this has to be current, so current is less than chars size, and chars of current is equal to the character that you have found in the start, you continue your streak. Right, continue the streak. Right, now we can simply say streak is nothing but current minus start. int streak should be equal to current minus start. Now we don't have to go into much deeper details. We don't have to say because cursor is already over 1. Then we come back here and we say, okay, this is the streak. Okay, so what do we do then? Chars of insert at should be equal to ch, and we forward the pointer. We forward that pointer by 1. Now, if streak is 1, my bad. Continue, right? We do that. So we continue. Once we do the continue, what I want to do is we can reuse the variable start. So start is insert at, right? Okay. Next thing that I want to do is while streak is greater than 0, and I keep on writing Python, so that's another thing, like I keep on messing up. Yeah, so what can we do in here? We can say we already moved sorry, we already moved the insert at in here, right? So we can simply say pairs of insert at should be equal to, I'm gonna take count mod 10, so this would give me the last digit, plus I'm gonna cast this, and sorry, then I'm going to cast this entire thing back to there. This is more explicit, but yeah, feel it's okay. But now that we have inserted this guy, I can move the pointer forward and streak by 10, so you cut it down, blah blah blah, and I feel that should be it. You don't have to do anything much in here. Now we have to say the right side, so int end is nothing but insert at -1, because we already shifted over by 1 step. Sorry. Now we swap. So while start is less than end, now in here we can simply say swap stuff. How do you swap? Int temp should be equal to chars start. Chars start should be equal to chars end, and chars end should be equal to temp. That's solid. And we don't have to move anything else because it again falls back to current, which is the cursor, and current already actually moved to the thing. Okay, makes sense. Now, what is the length that we have to return? We can simply return insert at, because it would be pointing to the position where I have to insert the next one. So it has to be insert at. Right. I feel this is it. But we'll see. Maybe it's not. Okay, we messed up something somewhere. Well, oh yeah. Okay, so we messed up this. Start plus plus and minus minus. We went in an infinite loop in there. Cool, that works. Let's quickly submit and see if that works. That fucking works, and we are good in here. Start plus plus and minus minus. Let's ask Claude to do it. So Create the nodes MD for, so what is it? 0043. 443, sorry. Really? Why can it not? Wait a second, something happened? Create the nodes for problems. Where am I right now? In problems. So yeah, I don't know why it cannot complete, but I'm gonna do that. Create the nodes for this thing. Same pattern as others. Make sure to be precise. Hopefully it doesn't do anything, and meanwhile we can actually do this kind of stuff. Okay, in place grouping and digit reversal. Right in paragraph. Look at all the other nodes, not points. Always. Dude, I'm fucking tired of this shit, stupid shit. Haiku. When did haiku come out? I mean, I thought it's very less, so that's why I'm like, okay, let me use this. Use two pointers to compress in place. Iterate through the string with current to group consecutive identical characters, counting the streak length. Write the characters insert at, and if the streak is greater than 1, extract the count digits modulo 10. Using modulo 10, producing them in reverse order. Then reverse digit sequence back to the correct order, advance this thing, and finally, yeah, I mean, okay. Well, not bad. I'm just going to accept it for now. So difficulty is, what is the difficulty of this? Yeah. We struggled a little bit, I think. No, we didn't struggle a little bit. We actually had to first, like, my logic was wrong somewhere. I don't know where, because I didn't see, like, whatever it was. It's only 2000 lines. 2000 in length. I mean, that's fine. I mean, probably we wouldn't have gone in any other way. Senior is a topic now? Oh, it's just a tag which I cannot click on. But senior is apparently a topic. Oh, I guess they have senior, staff, prince. Okay. That's two stupid tags, man. Pointers and string. Okay. And I do not want this. I don't want this. I do want to publish this guy. Boom, boom, boom. And let's go here. Use two pointers to compress in place. So to group identical characters coming this thing. Write this. Okay, the streak is greater than 1. Extract the digits. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and advance insert at this thing in here. I am going to do that, and in here I suppose we are good. Well, I'm not writing to that buffer. Okay, so we did a couple of solutions in here. What I quickly wanted to do is see that if we actually published it, the solution. So yeah, and then you have 80 solution. Okay, draft is not there. So if you're thinking like, why am I doing that? Because I have a very specific thing called draft true, and if this is enabled, it's not going to actually publish on the final build. So yeah, we have all the good stuff, dude. I have to revise on the design because like I don't think so it's a good design of what I have in the generator right now, but yeah, whatever. Solution, it's there. 151. We did quite some solutions today. I mean, it was already actually done. Okay, so yeah, this is what I'm saying. There's also 5.8 solution. Okay, and then 4-3. This is a very secure solution, by the way. Just saying. Yeah, doesn't have. Okay, cool. Okay, so this is what we have in here. This is what we have in here. Another thing that we have to do here is pagination, so we don't do pagination right now, so it's all gonna come in here. Also, why does it keep saying 49 problems? What does it say in actual thing? Oh, we have only 37, so we have a bunch of these in to do, but why does it say majority element rotate array? Yeah, but it's already 11, it's already 12 o'clock, so I'm gonna have dinner now, and I'm gonna see. I'm straight up gonna deploy all of these. So what all did we add? 26, 80, 88, I think, 151, 158, and 443. By the way, anybody has any idea on, like, any thought process on what can be a good first project for C? Because I think now I'm bored of doing lead code using C. I want to do something else. I want to build some project and not do lead code, that's for sure. Okay, so let's actually go here, github.com, this thing. Any thoughts, anyone? Okay, so by the time it deploys, yeah, only thing is there's blue, green, this, it feels a little bit weird, but it also feels good. I don't know, like the new design feels a good. Game engine, I am writing fucking lead code in C to learn lead code, learn C. I had to chat GPT that what is the syntax of stack allocation versus heap allocation, and you want me to write a game engine? Are you sure? First of all, I have never done games in my life. I've always done enterprise applications, so which means game is a complete different ball game. I have to learn how to translate physics into code, how to translate entire maths into code, how to actually load up objects, how to actually load up animations, how to actually load up sprites and shit like that. So even I don't know in depth what is the difference between a sprite and a PNG image. That is my condition. So for 12 years I've just been doing enterprise stuff. So I feel that would be an overwhelming thing where I would just, I would stop it in the middle. All right. And just to also get into the way of content creation, or so I started this entire thing because I wanted to see after, like, it's more of a documentational journey, saying that, okay, after so many years, do you get better? One way is to look at your GitHub. One way is to also see in here and see what, like, kind of figure out that, oh, you are getting better over time. That's one of the things. All right. Still is 37 problems. So that is weird. Why is so 37 problems? But yeah, so I think it's gonna be a little bit overwhelming where I won't be able to finish that, and so I don't want to do that because I'm recording already stuff with Python. I'm recording stuff with Java. I'm recording bits and pieces of animations using Manim. So C is purely for fun. I mean, all of this is purely for fun, but also trying to learn stuff. So I'm afraid that if I go into a game engine, it's going to be way difficult, and I'm going to, stop it, because I actually want to learn what I just said right now, that how 3D graphics work, how shaders work, how to load a shader, how to fucking write a shader, right? Stuff like this. But yeah, so not right now, but it's a good idea, and it has been there in the backlog, but I think it's way in the backlog, not ready for that yet. By the way, are you still there, Jewel Thomas? Are you still there on the chat? And are you a low-level C developer? Or at least, you know, you fool around with it and pretty good with it. I did push, so what is the issue? Yeah. What just happened? I don't quite know. Jewel Thomas. Wait a second. It told me 37 in front of me. Am I hallucinating right now? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, cool. So we did some stuff and we are gonna do this more often, but now I'm kind of also bored because I feel now I understand C till a point where I can actually write something, and I'm gonna write something in C. So that's also gonna be in another backlog. Let me quickly open another workspace, not here. I'm gonna do that here because I want to see my notes of what I have in the backlog. Okay, so apparently I can actually probably show this. Okay, so I have this in here where, yeah, I was just doing this thing where what kind of stuff I want to create, and apparently I didn't write down everything. I'm a Unity game developer, trying to learn game engine development in C++. Oh, okay, so you're already a game dev, which means that you already know what is a sprite, what is the difference between a sprite and an image. My understanding of sprite is that you have pixels and you can do maths and figure out till what width you can take out an image and then the next image, and you can just play it in an animation and it feels like it's moving. I may be completely off, dude, because when I heard of sprites and images, I quickly googled up and I saw this, and that's my basic understanding. So I may be completely off. I may be looking at from like 10,000 feet, so I have to learn all this stuff. So from doing basic lead code bullshit to going to a game engine, I feel is really overwhelming, and I'll quit. So I don't want to do that because I want to learn game dev, because it's fun. Like, learning is fun, that's why. So yeah, I just wanted to explore some of the things where, okay, so there's one of the things which is like rate limiting, so I want to explore some rate limiting using Java. Then OIDC or Google login with fast API and stuff like that. So I wanted to explore all of this. So if I think I have 5 things in picture right now, in backlog right now, and I have to put those in the board. But this is the board, by the way. Oh, okay, my bad, sorry. So I have a chat server with Golang, thought process. Pointer visualization, it may be useful to some juniors, to somebody who's coming into the low-level programming first, because this is how I understood pointers. So I just wanted to create an animation and, you know, talk through it of how things are. But yeah, count squares performance. So this is a leak code problem statement where I try to, if you guys have not seen, you should look up 1BRC, where they try to squeeze out a lot of performance out of Java. And so I did this using Java, but it's not definitely in terms of 1BRC. So I try and squeeze out performance from a leak code solution, showcasing that if a solution comes to its optimal answer, which is O of n, that is not the end, you can now start working with memory allocations and stuff like that to get the actual performance juice out of it. So yeah, these are some of the things. But game engine is pretty far down the line, dude. Looking at it, it feels like you may be a follower of Soding. I don't know if you actually follow him. He is not posting for a week now or something like that. 4 days, my bad. So that's kind of sad. But if you follow this guy, because he is a fucking genius, dude. So my learning of low level comes from this guy's videos. That's all. Okay. So the day he does a operating system, maybe I'll start doing a game engine, right? But yeah, even then I won't probably be, you know, capable of doing a game engine back then. But yeah, someday, hopefully someday. Where is my stuff? Yeah, anyways, cool. So that's basically it. Wait, why did I lose my... Okay, yeah, that's basically it. But yeah, really nice meeting you, Jewel Thomas. Thank you for coming and dropping by. It's pretty cool to always talk to a game dev. It's a really fascinating field for me, but I've never tried, so try someday for sure. Try someday for sure. Hello, fruity lip balm. How fruity are you? Which fruit are you? I am that monster. Yeah, I met you, bro. I met you. Okay, hello, hello, hello. Sadly, we are actually going offline right now. I've been streaming for almost 2.5 hours, and in my local time, it is 12 o'clock in the night, and I haven't yet had dinner. So, yeah. But thank you. Thank you, everyone, for dropping by. Thank you, everyone, for visiting and seeing me struggle through doing some C code. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoy the stream. I am recording some stuff and soon it will go live. Hopefully. I'm also learning editing, by the way. So this is pretty fun for me because long back I used to do photography and a lot of photo editing, and I wanted to get into films. I wanted to do filmography and I never could do. So I did the next best thing, which is I went for engineering and started figuring out what I want to do with my life. But now I really enjoy software, and yeah, that's what I've been doing for the past 12 years. But yeah, very, very seriously for the past 5-6 years, I would say. No, more than, yeah, since 2019, I became very serious and passionate about software engineering. But now I feel there's a chance to, amalgate all of these things that I actually want to do, make a film. At some point, like Thomas mentioned, game engine, maybe I fucking learn how to do a video editing stuff using whatever language, doesn't really matter, but you really learn about video editing and all of that, right? But yeah, it's just a start. I still haven't done videos. I feel videos are more better than live streams because live streams are pretty hectic to actually plan for, and then I end up most of the time being like, okay, I want to go live, let me just do lead code and see. That was fun for some time, but now it's pretty boring, I feel. But I'm still gonna keep maintaining that website. Hopefully you guys visit. What job did you get after college? I'm in college, by the way. I got a software engineering job in 2015. I started as a software engineer. But really software engineer I started in 2019 when I quit my job and I sat at home for 1 year just figuring out what the heck do they teach in software engineering, because I am not a CS grad. I didn't learn anything related to C. I was in a core subject which is electronics and communication, so I learned how to do FPGA, I learned how to do VLSI, I learned how to do I mean, coding was there, Verilog and stuff, but yeah, semiconductors and stuff, but nothing related to C, Java, blah blah blah, whatever, right? Nothing. But yeah, anyways, that's the story. So in 2019 I took a break for a year from my company to actually learn that what you actually need to become a software engineer, and that is when I become really passionate about it because it's fucking fun. You can make a machine do whatever the shit you want, so that's pretty cool. Do you stream every day? No, buddy. I cannot stream every day, so it's very absurd times that I would come online, but it's usually on a Saturday that I would do. So streaming every day is not possible. I have full-time work, so not possible on weekends. Weekdays, you end up doing some family stuff and all that, so sometimes not possible. But yeah, I'm actually trying to create videos. Do you think, by the way, that videos farm more views than streaming on YouTube, at least? Specifically in the software industry community and not like a live gaming community. In the software industry, in the software community, I feel that videos have more views than streams. Is that so? Anyone has any views on that? Yes, long videos and tutorials and tricks and tips, and yeah. So I'm gonna do long videos. I'm not gonna do tips and tricks. I don't have any tips or tricks. It's just, I honestly feel if you give me tips and tricks, right, it's very wrong because of the fact that I can give you a tips or tricks. So okay, let's talk about an example, right? Postgres. Okay, so you have Postgres database, right? And I can give you a tip saying, like, I can make a video if you want to learn. Acha, sorry, learn Postgres fast. I wanted to say, I thought it says run Postgres fast. So let's say, from a tips and tricks, I feel I can give you more generalized tips and tricks, because anything specific, right? I feel that, like, it may not be completely relevant to your use case, because these things, very nitty gritty things, right, is very, very specific to projects and situations. So any high scale project that you're working on, tuning and stuff like that completely depends. So as an example, I worked in an application which had around 10,000 RPS, TPS, right? So RPS, 10,000 requests falling on the server. Latency had to be less than 50 milliseconds or so. It was Java application, which means quite heavy, and we had a bunch of RAMs and stuff, like a huge RAMs and TVs and all, right? So we had to do a lot of GC tuning. Now, if you come back and say, hey, can you teach me GC tuning? I cannot, because right now I'm working on a different application, which is again on JVM, and its GC tuning is completely different because we have to profile it. I can give you a tip on how to profile it. I can give you a tip on, if you profile it, what things maybe you want to look for, but I really cannot tell you that what is a JVM GC stuff, right? It's very specific to use cases and environments, stuff like that. Also, I don't think like it's fun for me to do tutorials and tricks. That's why I've delayed the videos also, because all the plans that you see, right? Where do I have it? Yeah, all the plans that you see. So because when I try and brainstorm these with ChatGPT saying, hey, how do I do this video on rate limiting? It would say, oh, you create a tutorial, blah, 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 blah. Dude, I don't want to create a tutorial of 20 minutes. I'm not here to, like, you can go to the Google, you can go to ChatGPT and ask, teach me. So it doesn't make fucking sense that I create a video on 10 minutes or 20 minutes with some animations and teach you rate limiting. I want to talk about rate limiting, and they want to fucking implement it live, unedited. So maybe it's 1 hour, maybe it's 2 hours. I actually split over 2 days, and I join the videos and upload. Because some people told me that long videos don't get views, and I kind of don't care. People who care about content would see, I feel. So I'm feeling in that way, where I'm not going to do tutorials. It's more about fun projects and fun coding. That's what I think I'm gonna go for. That's what I'm going for, actually, not go for. Obviously, you don't enjoy anything, you don't do it. Yeah. No, I'm just saying. Yes, from streaming part, I actually started streaming because making a video is difficult. I realized you have to write a script, you have to talk about the script, all that. In stream, I can just come and speak out of my mind. So just, on the spot. I think I'm a little okay with that. Not okay with remembering and then, talking. But yeah. So that's why I still don't have a video out. Because I'm still recording and recording. Okay. But I'm seriously actually recording stuff now, and I'm gonna do that. So if you're not subscribed, please do. Hopefully you love the content. If you don't love the content, you can always unsub. That's straight up, dude. There's no... But yeah, thank you so much for everyone who joined in. Thank you so much for hanging out for so long. It may be night for you if you're in India or in the subcontinent. It may be morning for you if you're on the west. But yeah, have a good day or have a good night depending on where you're watching from. Thank you so much for joining, and yeah, thank you. Bye bye. I'll see you on the next stream. Don't know when, but soon.